Welcome to my podcast. I'm Aurimas Kamantauskas, event organizer from the company Kaip based in Lithuania, and I'm a founder and organizer of Event and Trends Festival Revolution. Today we have a special guest for this conference and this podcast, Jan-Jaapas In der Maur from Netherlands, from Masters in Moderators. I'm very happy and proud to have you here in my podcast. Welcome.
I'm very happy and proud to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And if you are ready, let's start.
I'm always ready.
How to be a good moderator?
A good moderator starts with loving people and with loving everybody in the room. Even if they're not good speakers, even if they make problems in the event, whatever, you should love everyone. And your drive should be to help everyone in the room tell their best story.
What the audience are expecting from the moderator?
Basically nothing. Because as a moderator, we should surprise people above what they were expecting.
But sometimes you are meeting your audience first time, like in the first seconds on the stage, and you see that, oh my God, that will be a very, very heavy crowd.
Don't look at them as a heavy crowd, but look at them as a very concentrated crowd, as a very critical crowd. And critical is a positive thing in many cases.
How the trends are changing of behavioral and moderating.
People want to be part of the experience. They don't just want to experience the experience, they want to be part of it. If you look at companies, a CEO 20 years ago could simply tell everybody what to do. A CEO today needs to co-create with people. That means that we train a lot of in-company people in helping them how to work together with a group in moderating them. So it's not only moderators that we train, it's a lot of in-company people that sometimes need to moderate because of their job.
You came here as the first guest of Revolution to do a workshop for moderators of this conference and festival. What is your first impression meeting them?
The moderators, they're a great bunch of people. They are each in their own different ways talented moderators, but very different kind of people, and that's what I like.
And they are from different countries, yeah? Poland, Netherlands, Germany, Lithuania. How you are combining them and sharing the same rules for it works, same rules in all the countries?
Yes, same rules in every country works, but the way that you work with the rules is different per country. I mean, I think there couldn't be no two nations too further apart than the Netherlands and Lithuania. I mean, the Dutch, we are quite loud and quite present, etc. And as far as I know, the Lithuanians so far, they are very quiet and modest and friendly, etc. But the rules are the same, the way that you use them are completely different. And that's the beauty about multicultural working as a moderator.
How do you think every moderator, they want to be as someone else or they're being themselves?
No, in many cases, I do a lot of moderator trainings. In many cases, when we start the training, people are kind of acting the standard idea that they have of a moderator, like this kind of in-charge, official, well-behaved person. And what I try to do is, apart from giving them tips and tricks for moderation, is having them find what kind of moderator they are. First finding their default setting, and then seeing if we can expand that a little bit and have them find aspects of themselves that they didn't find before.
How to be a good moderator?
A good moderator starts with loving people and with loving everybody in the room. Even if they're not good speakers, even if they make problems in the event, whatever, you should love everyone. And your drive should be to help everyone in the room tell their best story or help them formulate their question or whatever. It is a very humble profession where it's never about you. So when I train people, I'd rather that people have the right attitude and then teach them the technology, the techniques of moderation, than that they already know the techniques of moderation but do not have the attitude. Moderation is not about a flawless presentation. It is about making a true connection to your audience, about making people feel that they're seen, heard and loved.
The storyteller is one of the oldest professions in the world. What we should take to the stage from this point of view and how we should create that story. It should be a funny story, a dramatic story, or it should goes up and down.
Anything, what's most effective at that point in time. And that's where moderation comes in. We are not the storytellers, we are the story listeners and we are the story helpers. If you have a brilliant story but you struggle in presenting that story, and I mean on stage it's often experienced speakers, so they're okay. But the people in the room are just normal people, mostly not trained to tell stories. So what I'm there to do is help them express their feelings, their stories, their thoughts in order to make the whole event better for everyone.
You know, we will have during this Revolution conference a lot of interesting speakers, panel discussions, and we will have a special guest, Martin Green, who is a
looking forward to that.
BBC producer of Eurovision Song Contest in Liverpool. And we saw just several weeks ago the competition in Sweden.
It was brilliant.
Brilliant. What you could say about the hosts of this event?
They were great TV hosts, which I like. But a great TV host is not necessarily a great event host. Because the difference between television and events is that the screen is not there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you present for television, you just look into a camera, and on the other side of the lens, there's people at home watching at the glass plate. So there is no connection. As soon as you go to an in-person event, or an online event, but where there's cameras both ways so you can see each other, the task of the presenter, of the MC, of the moderator, whatever name you want to use for it, becomes to make a true connection. And I especially the Swedish presenter that did the two previous ones in Sweden too, yeah. I liked her because she is talking with her spectators through the lens. There is a true connection.
We're talking about Petra, yeah?
Yes, yes, yeah.
If you have this multiple event, hybrid event, when you have live audience and TV viewers, what are your advices to the moderators? Should they work? How to prioritize?
The most ideal situation is when there is a moderator for the in-person people and a separate moderator for the online people. So that you at some point can have the moderator in the room do interaction with the people there, and the moderator online take care of the people that are online. Of course, the two should meet, and I think that one part that is important is the meeting design, where you should make a very conscious choice of when the two worlds come together and when the two worlds are separated. What I love, the simple solution is when you have a Q&A with a speaker, do a Q&A in the room first and provide some other information for the online people, and then bring the speaker to a small studio where the online people can do a Q&A with the speaker separately. That is splitting, bringing together, splitting. And for the moderators, be aware of that not only we are talking, but there's people there. So every now and then try to involve the people there too. Talk to them.
What the audience are expecting from the moderator?
Basically nothing. Really? Now, in general, hoping I'm not sounding too arrogant here, but in general, the level of moderation worldwide is that of a TV presenter just presenting. So what people expect is somebody telling them what the next speaker is. And at best yelling at them, are we all happy? And that's it. So people are led to believe that moderation is just that. So what we as a moderator should do is show people that there is more, that we can do extra steps to talk with them. So we as a moderator, we should surprise people above what they were expecting.
Okay. And any tips how to engage more audience into the conversation?
Make them part of the conversation from the first moment.
And if they are very shy?
Allow them to be very shy and give them time to get used to it. I mean, if you're very shy and a moderator runs up to you in a room with 500 people and asks you to tell your life story, that's too frightening. But if I would start the conference with a very small question to everyone in the room, and a simple raise of hands, where you only have to say yes or no, and no live questions, but simple questions. I kind of make you used to the fact that you will be interactive that day. If I then have you talk to someone next to you, that's only one person, so that's okay for you as a shy person. And then I slowly build it, and I build the trust that it's not scary and that I will help them, etc. Then in the course of the day, maybe after the first speaker or maybe after the second speaker, the room will be used to the idea that it's interactive and used to the idea that it is safe to speak up. What happens in real life often is that we first confront people with 4 speakers. So the message there is shut up, sit and listen. And then after that, we suddenly want them to be interactive. And we suddenly want them to be capable of standing up and shouting their opinion in the middle of a room full of people. That's not what, so we should help them slowly grow into the process. And if you want the interaction, start with it.
What is the most attractive or successful trick to warm up them and to start in the very good way?
Ask them a question.
From the beginning?
From the beginning. I rarely open an event or a conference with a presentation or with introducing myself. In 95% of the cases, I go on stage, I look at the audience, I say, good morning, and then I ask them a question. And then they immediately know and understand that I'm there for them and not for me.
What you do for the host if I am coming, saying good morning, and I want to just turn me and to leave the stage?
You as a host?
Yes.
Then probably if you are so not comfortable being the host, then you should turn and leave. Okay. Leave it up to somebody else or get a training.
But sometimes you are meeting your audience first time, like in the first seconds on the stage, and you see that, oh my God, that will be a very heavy crowd.
Yeah, but then I try to do a mind shift and don't look at them as a heavy crowd, but look at them as a very concentrated crowd, as a very critical crowd. And critical is a positive thing in many cases. People are always willing to talk to you, but you should ask the right question and they should feel that you're not there to trick them into something, that you really want to know what their story is. At Conventor Crossover, where we met, after the conference, I had a talk with the moderator. And there was one point where he tried to interact with the audience, and they didn't respond. And then he felt bad about it, and he wanted to talk to me. How come that happened? And then I told him, listen, I was there, and I could feel that the question you had for the audience was not because you wanted to know. It was because you wanted to have a certain answer that would make you help a bridge to the next. So you were using them to have a great intro for the next topic. And people will feel that. If you ask them a question, only ask the question if you really want to know the answer. If I'm asking you, how are you doing? I should be open for not too good, JJ. And then wanting to work with that, because that's true interest. If I'm only looking for great JJ and you, and then me having the opportunity to tell you everything about the great stuff I'm doing, that's not sincere. So it should be sincere. Sincere interest in people is something that people can feel.
Okay, let's talk about evolution of the events and evolution of behavioral of the events. Before pandemic and now, or maybe 10 and 20 years ago and now, how the trends are changing of behavioral and moderating?
The two are interconnected. People changed from consumers of information or consumers of inspiration, or they changed from consumers into co-creators. People want to be part of the experience. They don't just want to experience the experience, they want to be part of it. So that means that you can't just think of a program and then feel that everybody should be happy with it. There should be room for people to respond to what you planned and to make you change your plans along the way. The moderators I trained will be doing a number of panels the upcoming days. I hope I trained them enough to feel when the room is not happy with the direction the panel is taking, and then changing the direction. Because that is what people want. They want to be involved, they want to be part of it. And that people have become more individual, which puts an extra stress on the event and on the moderator to help people turn into a temporary tribe. When we do a conference or an event, we all come in as individuals, and the moderator can help make that individuals feel like, hey, for today, we are a group. We love each other for today. We're going to do this together. And then back to individual later on, no problem. But that's what we do. We create group feeling.
And being an event director, what I should focus into trying to help for moderators to do their job in the best way?
Involve them early. Make sure that they can reach out to speakers, to content providers, to find the best way of working with those people. Don't schedule too tight, because I'd rather finish half an hour early at the end of the day than 2 minutes late. Because never, ever, ever was there a crowd that when I finished 20 minutes early, they were shouting, JJ, we paid until 5, so you make another 20. No, when it's done, it's done. On the other hand, if you go over time by 1 minute, it feels like half an hour to people, because they will miss their train, they will be in traffic jams, etc., etc. So design for white space, so that if you planned for 10 minutes Q&A, but the conversation between the speaker and the audience is brilliant, that I know, okay, I can also go to 15 or maybe even to 20 without having a problem in the rest of the schedule.
If we have a very classic event, for example, all the events almost have food. how to split in the right way these parts, when to do official opening or speeches or some other elements, before food, after food,
during food.
During food.
Why we are so so concentrated on you used splitting up. Why split elements up? I very often designed for a 2-hour lunch break, but during the lunch break, groups get assignments that they need to do during that break period. So then they have a choice to make themselves. Will we do the assignment first and then have lunch? Will we have lunch first and then do the assignment? Will we combine the assignment and the lunch and then all have half an hour free time? That kind of gives people room and space to decide for themselves. Another example, networking. Networking is a separate part. We're in the conference room for the whole day, and at the end of the day, there's food and drink, and that's networking. And then we push people into a room and we say, you network, and then we hope the best of it. Why not integrate the networking into the conference? I mean, if you have 4 or 5 different target groups there that need to talk with each other, why not have a speaker? And after that speaker, have groups of 10 with 2 people from every target group and have them talk. Then there is a content thing, then there's interaction, and it's networking at the same time. Because if I meet you while talking about the subject and hearing your ideas on what the speaker just told us.
I think most successful conferences are moving now into shorter speeches or discussions, into more networking.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel it should be topic-related networking, curated networking. So not just push people in a room and tell them to network. Help them find ways to do the networking, come up with formats that will assist that networking.
It's very interesting to listen all your advices. If I want to get more training, how to find you?
Go online, Google for Masters in Moderation or go to mastersinmoderation.com and then there's an educational page and you look at the potential workshops. At the same time we also do in-company and tailor-made workshops if you need it. Go on LinkedIn and look for Jan-Jaap In der Maur. It's Jan and then dash Jaap. Or call him and ask him where to find me.
Yeah, of course. Is this training only for the moderators or only good for event organizers, directors?
Absolutely, because I think it would be very important for people like you to understand what a moderator can do and what the profession of moderation means. And by doing a training, and being a moderator for a day or 2 days does not mean that you have to moderate after it, but at least you have this deeper understanding of how you could use your moderator better.
I think even for the company's leaders also very good advices how to give a speech and to engage the employees or guests.
If you look at companies, earlier on I said we've moved from consumers of information to co-creators. If you look at companies, a CEO 20 years ago could simply tell everybody what to do. A CEO today needs to co-create with people. That means that we train a lot of in-company people in helping them how to work together with a group in moderating them. So it's not only moderators that we train, it's a lot of in-company people that sometimes need to moderate because of their job.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to having you here in event and Ideas and Trends Festival Revolution and in this amazing, wonderful, beautiful residence of this festival, Hotel Pacai. See you next time.
I
maybe
hope so.
Here or maybe in Slovenia, Rome.
Anywhere in the world will be good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Please press like, subscribe, or comment our conversation, or ask some questions to JG, and I will ask him to answer them. Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.